Alright, here we go. The final world. Alright, balloonist. Here we go. Even gives you a little warning. But beware, Spyro. Nasty's world is not the most friendly place you'll find. Well, of course, because Nasty Gnorc is the big bad of this game. What's interesting is that it's called Nasty's World, but yet when you bring up the inventory screen, it says Gnorc Nexus. Of course, Nexus spelt with a G. And we freed Delvin before.
Hey, didn't I already free you?
You're in Nasty's world now, Spyro, and you are the dragon who must defeat him.
Bring him on! I'm ready!
Reach the exit in each of Nasty's lands. Then you can challenge the Gnorc himself.
And for some reason, they're using Toasty's music. Ah well, got a lot of fodder here. And the first level you can go into is Gnorc Cove. You gotta beat that in order to open the next dragon mouth, and, you know, repeat for the other two. Well, sorta. We'll get there. So yeah, we can't get all the treasure either. So right now we're gonna collect about 75. Yeah, we're gonna have 75 points of treasure. Can't get it all yet because the rest, well, they're in the dragon heads. So yeah, let's go to Gnorc Cove. We're getting closer and closer to the finale. And this level is appropriately epic and a bit on the challenging side, so yeah. Actually, I took a look at the beta version of the game, and I forget who uploaded it, but it showed that this was originally called the Mechanics World or something, or the Mechanists World. Which would make sense, because there's enemies with wrenches, and, you know, there's lots of heavy artillery and whatnot. You know, this whole world is very metallic, it's very, you know, cold. I think it's perfect for, you know, the final world, you know, for the villain. Even though the villain's an absolute sissy. Get those two little gems there. Alright, let's move on. Lots of explosive action in this level. And of course... Okay, watch it. Typical villains wearing hearts underwear. Never gets old. Alright, let's free this guy here. I think he's one of the Dreamweaver's dragons, or one of the Magic Crafter's dragons. That was Dreamweaver's. Latif!
Keep up the good work, Spyro. I expect Nasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Gnorc boots if I were him.
Alright, let's get over there. Destroy that chest. For some reason, this level reminds me of the sequence in Tarzan when he gets to the camp and all the shipmates are there, all the ship crew. You know, the Disney version, of course. They're all, you know, pushing the barrels, trying to get everything onto the ship, and Tarzan has no idea what's going on and whatnot. And also, in the PS1 game, I think the game was also for PC as well, in the game, they had a ship level. That kind of reminds me of that. Alright. Like I said before, I think Wild Flight was originally supposed to be in this world because this looks a lot like Wild Flight, as opposed to the Beastmaker's levels. But, watch out. At least it gives you a warning. Kind of channeling Crash Bandicoot there. This game came out the same year as Crash Bandicoot Warped, the third one, which a lot of people will say is the best in the series. I think it's the best by a very small hair, because Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, is also really, really good. And also on this game, and yeah, vice versa for Crash 3, you can unlock a playable demo of Crash 3. On Crash 3, you can unlock a playable demo of Spyro. There's like a certain code you have to enter. Oh, look at that thing. There's a certain code you have to enter in the, you know, during the startup screen. But yeah, two great games came out the same season in the same year. I also think that's when Gran Turismo came to North America. Fall 1998. Test Drive 5 came out in fall 1998. A lot of good games came out in fall 1998. 1998 was pretty much the PS1's ultimate year. Or 1997, I mean. See, I was born in 1992, so I can't really gauge it, but if you were born in like the late 80s or mid-80s and you kind of lived the PS1 era fully, because, you know, I was only 3 when the PlayStation 1, not even, when the PlayStation 1 came to North America. I got my PlayStation for Christmas in 1998. Alright, let's get all these tools. But yeah, if you lived it, what was the ultimate year for the PlayStation? I wouldn't be handling those explosives if I were you. Ah! Lesson learned. Now let's go for Tomas. Again.
Wow! I never thought I'd be rescued, especially by such a little dragon. What I mean is, I always believed in you, Spyro!
You gotta believe!
Okay, what was that all about? You gotta believe! I mean, were they improvising this stuff, or were they just so bored with what they had that they just... that Carlos Alazraqui, after reading the script, he just added, "You gotta believe," because what Tomas says, "Oh, I always believed in you," it's just, I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to make fun of the person who wrote the screenplay. I'm just saying this game's dialogue is so minimal that it feels like the actors were just trying to add a little kick or zest to it. You know, with something unintentionally funny. I'm not saying it's a bad script, it's just saying, I mean, there really isn't much of a script. You free dragons, they say thank you or whatever, give you some helpful hints, and that's it. You know, it's just like the first Crash Bandicoot. The first Crash Bandicoot game has very little dialogue except for the, you know, the couple of cutscenes. You know, you just advance from level to level, you know. Cortex doesn't say, "Oh no, Papu Papu was easy, but wait till you see what I've got in store for you." Ah, but wait, Papu Papu wasn't really affiliated with Cortex now, was he? Thankfully, in Crash Bandicoot 3, they added a lot more dialogue. Like, Cortex talks to you in between levels from time to time. Sometimes Coco does. And the same with Spyro 2. There's a lot more dialogue. They've expanded the story. There's more of a working script there. It doesn't matter if the dialogue is cheesy or anything. It's just... it works. It's all there. And I think that's why Spyro 2 is such a very good game. It takes what already made this game work so well, and it just builds on it. 3 does too, although for some reason, I think... here's the thing, I don't think one Spyro game is better than the other. I actually think they are all equal. I love the first Spyro game's tone. I love how it's an, you know, a very... it's unabashedly a fantasy story, and there's not too many levels like the ones in Spyro 2. There's no levels like Metropolis or things like that. There's no levels like that. Most of the levels are usually like castle and mountain based. And then you got the swamps for the beast makers, but then you go back to the castles and fairy tale like structures for the Dreamweaver's world. And then you get here, which is more metallic and more less fairy tale like, but the theme was mostly fairy tale. It was just like fantasy, faraway places and places beyond your imagination, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas with Spyro 2, we started seeing a very diverse range of, you know, levels. You know, like Metropolis, this futuristic style city with alien cows. Well, maybe not alien cows, but cows with laser guns and pigs with rockets. And it's like, you wouldn't have seen that in this game. Alright, as you can see, things are getting a little more serious here. These Gnorcs come with machine guns! Holy crap! Yeah, would this fly today with an E rating? I don't know. They'd probably give it E10 and up. Because, oh god, think of the children! Guns! I tell you, I think some of the best family-friendly action movies are the ones with violence in them, you know, like Indiana Jones and, you know, classic Disney movies. I mean, look at Pixar's The Incredibles. There's a lot of gun violence in that. And there's a lot of other violence, too. There's explosions, there's, you know, smackdowns. And unfortunately, a lot of people think that a family film has to be all, you know, just about cute animals and comedy and, you know, stupid innuendos in order to get the adults invested. I'm not saying family movies have to be violent, but they've got to have some kind of bite to them. This is the reason why I like Disney and I like Pixar so much, and DreamWorks too. DreamWorks is really up their game. Like, they're not afraid of, you know, going, you know, being a little edgy and, you know, having some dark stuff in there. Cosmos!
Thank you for releasing me.
AKA, it was stupid of me to go after Nasty Gnorc myself. Oh, grenades. A machete and a grenade. That guy is badass. Well, not until he gets toasted, but still. Alright, how are we going to destroy that treasure chest? Easy. Supercharge! Gotcha! But yeah, like I was saying, like DreamWorks, Pixar, and Disney, they all at least put a little bite into their movies. You know, when it's necessary. They're not, like, gratuitous or anything. But then I look at a movie like The Lorax, which was made by Illumination, the creators of Despicable Me, and I think to myself, animation is such a limitless medium. You could do so much more, and you're adapting a Dr. Seuss story. You could do better. It's such a forgettable movie, which is too bad because, you know, it's based on a really good Dr. Seuss book. And wow, that has nothing to do with Spyro, but, yeah. I don't know what E-rated games are like today. I don't know if they can get away with something like having a machine gun in there. I'm kind of I'm kind of like out of touch with modern games. But yeah, it's kind of unexpected when these, you know, throughout most of the game, the Gnorcs are using weapons like swords and, I mean, to be fair, there were the Dry Canyon Gnorcs using the musket guns, but those shot like cannonballs, whereas these are actual frickin' machine guns. Things just got more serious. It's like all of a sudden this became a big action film. It's like, okay, screw the fairy tale action. Let's turn this into an all-out action film. It's like we walked into another movie. Just checking here to see if there's anything. I keep forgetting if there is or isn't. If there are things there or not. Alright. Yep. A little bit of Peacekeeper's World here in the design. Given the more militaristic vibe of that, you know, setting of that land. And back across the drawbridge again. Imagine if a big boat was coming through and you just closed it on them. Ah, Cletus, Aretus, Aritus.
Be on the lookout for Gnort commandos, Spyro.
They better be on the lookout for me.
Okay, why is he a different color and why is his voice different? Kind of weird. It's almost as if the developers forgot that he, you know, who Cletus was. I don't know. I've never seen a dragon in that color in the game. Maybe it was like a graphical screw up. Like something went wrong with the colors or something. They just left it in. I don't know. That's confused me for years. I always chalked it up to error or something, or he was trapped in crystal for so long that he turned a different color. I don't know. Okay, more spring boxes here. No! Oh, come on! Oh well, better that than, you know, bleeding to death from all the bullets. All the bullet holes. dragons, they have tough skin. Yeah, watch those guys. They have huge freaking machine guns. They're like freaking M60s. And it happened again. Even before he started firing, unless when he fired it was like the first bullet that hit me. But that doesn't matter, I have like 38 lives. I'm gonna be fine. Oh ho, I didn't fall, you're screwed. It's like thinking you know, killed your nemesis and then boom, he comes back up and you're like, oh crap. Alright. This level was pretty simple, actually. Just a little challenging. Huh. Oil rigs in the distance there, apparently. I didn't know Nasty was an oil tycoon. Ah, so that's what the story is. He's gonna trap dragons, and he's also gonna become an oil tycoon. And he's gonna use the dragon skin to make oil, I don't know. He's such a one-dimensional villain that... Oh, wait. Signing off.